Okay, so let me just play this. Hi, welcome to this tutorial, and in this video I'm going to teach you how to control Elementor pop-up with Memberium. So if you're new to this channel, I'm Danica, and I design and build WordPress membership sites. In this channel, I teach how to create a membership site that works for you, because it's not really just about that great app that does it all. There's really more than that. So if you're interested in this topic, please consider clicking that subscribe and notification bell so that I could keep you posted whenever I post new topics like this. So let's get started on how to control Elementor pop-up with Memberium. Okay, so let me just end this presentation, and I'm gonna go to my browser. So by default, Elementor has its pop-up functionality, but it doesn't work with Memberium to protect or to trigger it properly. So what I mean is, example, if you want to trigger a pop-up if a member has that specific tag, then by default you can't really use the settings from the pop-up to do that. There's a trick that you need to go through to make it work. Now, maybe I'm not making sense here, but I'm gonna give you an example. So in here, I'm just gonna go date, and I'm going to open this one. So this is a pop-up, and what we're trying to do is we want to show this offer to specific members only. Now this one is a membership site, WordPress membership site. It's using Memberium to protect its content, and Memberium talks with Keap, which has all the tags and complete list of members and so on. Now this is a membership site, and what we want is when a specific member who is logged in and is not part of the membership that we have, then we want to offer them certain offers like an upsells or products and so on, and this is one of that. So if they are still in the trial, we want to show this pop-up. So we created this pop-up inside Elementor's pop-up. So if you go to if you install Elementor and you get the Pro, this pop-up will show. So you could build whatever pop-up design you need with Elementor pop-up. And if you have installed Memberium to your site, under Advanced tab, there's gonna be this section where you could protect certain stuff with Memberium. So you could enable some membership levels so that section will only show up if they have that. You could also require tags if you wanted to work that way, and so on. You can even create a Boolean expression. But problem is, if you use this protecting of way on Elementor pop-up, it doesn't work that way. I mean, it doesn't work. What it does is example, if I'm a login, let's just say this pop-up, you want this to only show for your complete, for this case, complete pack members. So you turn that on, right? And then if I'm logged in and I only have the free access, which means I'm not a paid member, then this won't show up. So whatever is turned on, only that certain group will get to see this. So let's just say what we want is to only show this to the free members, because what we want is for them to upgrade to the paid account, and that's what the rule that we set, and we save that. Now when you test this, what's gonna happen right now, I'm not sure if Memberium with Elementor integration will update soon, but right now if you do it this way, the pop-up will still get triggered, and the pop-up will still get triggered. You can still see this overlay effect, but this content will not show up, which is a bit weird if you are a member and you're wondering why there's overlay showing up, but there's really no content in it. So it's not really turning the pop-up off. What it does, it's only hiding the section, but the pop-up is still working. So this does not solve or handle your decision or condition perfectly. So there's a trick for that one, and I'm gonna show it to you. But before I do that, you also, of course, whenever you create a pop-up, you can decide if you want to show it to an entire pages of your site or in just a specific one. If you want to control a pop-up with Memberium, it needs to be at least in one of your page. Example, if you want it to show in your lesson pages only, then you need to set that in here. If this is blank, it's still not gonna work. What you don't need to do is to trigger the page load, on scroll, or whatever other elements here, except for this one. So we need to call or trigger this pop-up in an element. So as you can see, on scroll to element, you need to set the class name in here, so it needs to start with that, and then whatever name you need to use, you can use that in here, but you need to enter that, and that should be set to yes. In the advanced rule, you can limit it to only show whatever, like how long you need it to show, and so on. This is fine in here. That on the trigger, it doesn't need, or it should not be on the page load, not on the scroll, but to a specific element only. And I'm going to show you what that means next. But this is important, this part is important, and this you can decide whatever you need in here, whether that's only for a specific device, and so on. I'm just gonna close this. So after you set up your pop-up in Elementor, you don't need to do anything in the Memberium section, but you need to make sure that on the trigger this is set up properly. We're gonna do our Memberium protection or control on different location. So after setting up that pop-up, you need then to create a template, or in my case, I created it as a template because I need this pop-up to be enabled in number of pages, not just one. So what I want is just to grab this shortcode whenever I need it, wherever I need it, and then just paste it in there. So what it does is, let me just this way, so upgrade. So in your page, or in my case, I created a template. You need to use this shortcode. So if we just investigate here, so it says Memberium has any tag ID except for tag IDs. I have list of tag IDs in here, and then as you can see, we have this dev class and the name that came from here. Now that represents class. So as you can see, the that is no longer in here. You just need to create this one, and I hope it's big enough. Let me just try to zoom in. As you can see in my live view here, the division class is not showing, but on the left side you can see it in here. It's actually blank. So again, what it says is the member needs to have this, like any of this tag ID. So I have 3. So if they have any of that tag ID, then this will show up. This division shows up, which will result for the pop-up to trigger, because as we recall, we have set the trigger to only scroll to that element. So if Elementor find this element, then this pop-up gets triggered. That's what it means. So except for tag ID, so we want to make sure that this pop-up does not show for this tag IDs. So if you look at, so let me just zoom out, so it's too big. Memberium has any tag documentation. It's very detailed in there how this shortcode could help you protect certain message and so on. And it has this except tag or tags if you need to make sure that it doesn't show, or you want to filter out those list of contacts. So if you have this one, what's gonna happen is, example, if I copy this shortcode and paste it, and let's just say I have some course for my free trial members, then I paste this shortcode, which means I want this pop-up to be present because I want them to upsell, then this pop-up will show up, because that template, which is this one, and the content is this one, has that division with the class name, which is exactly the same from the trigger that we set in the Elementor pop-up. And of course, we are protecting it tags and making sure we exclude those tags that we want to exclude. Now, these are Keap tags or infusions of tags. So depending on your rule, or depending on the type of leads and how you want this to exactly to work, then you need to set that in here. If you have any question with this shortcode, I suggest you check this page first, and then if you have like any confusion about that, you can comment that in this video, and then I will do my best to help you on that one. So that's what it means, and then we're wrapping this with the /mem_has_any tag, because you need to make sure you close that with that as an example in here. So that's the opening, that's the close, and you could have whatever you need inside it. So that's how you control Elementor with Memberium. So you can't, this one does not perfectly work right now, maybe in the future they're gonna do some improvements, but right now it doesn't work perfectly. It still shows the overlay. So the perfect way of triggering Elementor pop-up with your Memberium rules, which is example this one, you only want to show that pop-up on this rule. Then to make sure you set it to on scroll to element. So that's how this works, and that's really one of the great way with Memberium. It allows you to target your login members specifically on how they need to be treated. Like example, if you have a login member and has only taken up, let's just say, a free member and just finish lesson 1, and of course whenever they finish a lesson you could tag them with something, so you could recognize that with this help of their shortcode. Let's just say if they're a free member and they haven't finished lesson 2 yet, then you want to pop up a message and just check with them that, hey, I saw that you have finished lesson 1. Like try to encourage them to proceed on the lesson 2. You could do it something like that, because this helps, and you could filter it, like target your audience very specific with this shortcode. That's really one of the great thing with Memberium. So having Memberium with Keap is a perfect combination for your membership site to market your audience inside your website. So let's just say a login member, let's just say they finished this but they haven't finished this yet. Of course you could set a tag, complete tag for this one, and let's just say you want a message like, hey, I saw you have finished the upcoming code, congratulations. Next step is this one. You could do it that way. So different ways of showing message, and the pop-up was just one of them. This is another example of an Elementor pop-up, and we were using a tool called ConvertBox with that one, but ConvertBox does not recognize the name of the login member. So we were having some research how to make it work. But then, of course, we remember that Memberium allows to call the member's name. So Memberium first name with this one. You could use that in your website. So we have changed this pop-up message with Memberium. Now you don't really need Memberium to show the login member's first name. Elementor has some dynamic functionality to show the login's first name with this one, but I think this if you're not like using Elementor, then this is also very handy, because you could greet your member with that shortcut. But again, this is just another example, and we could also just show this, maybe show an offer, like example, we're trying to have them download the app. Maybe if they have downloaded the app and we track that, then we hide this message completely. So we could do that with the combination of Memberium and Elementor. So I hope this helps, and thank you for watching this video. Like and share if you think this is going to help some of your friends, and if you have any question, comment that below and I will do my best to answer and help you with your questions. But before I completely end this, Elementor and Memberium is a perfect combination because they have that advanced tab And then if you're not using Elementor, still the Memberium shortcodes are very powerful because you could do lots of decision or if-else statement. If you're that's actually a programming term, but you could do like, if your member does not have this, then show this offer, something like that. It's very handy, and it's a very powerful marketing tool for your login member. So yep, I'll see you in my next video. Again, thanks for watching.